Okay, let's get started. Let's just do a few of these problems. These are just a little tougher, and we're going to be applying the same rules as we did in a previous video in here to simplify these radicals. Well, the first one is radical 3 divided by radical 8. I really wish 3 went into 8 or 8 went into 3, but it doesn't. So the problem is we have a radical here on the bottom. So 8 is a reasonably small number. I can continue using the 8, but I do notice radical 8 can be simplified into 2 radical 2, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just stick with the radical 8. Eventually, I'm going to have to simplify radicals in the numerator if I can simplify the radical 8 right away. So I'm just going to stick with the radical 8 and do it at the end instead of the beginning. So this turns into radical 24 all over 8, and now the radical 24 simplifies. So I notice that's radical 4 times radical 6 all over 8. So that's going to be 2 radical 6 all over 8. And we're still not done because 2 does go into 8 evenly. That's radical 6 all over 4. And now we're done. Let's take a look at the next one here. Well, we have radical 3 divided by radical 10. So in this case, I'm going to stick with the radical 3 and 10. They don't go into each other evenly. So I have to trick it by multiplying by 1 here. So this is going to be radical 30 all over 10. And in this case, 30 doesn't simplify. 30 doesn't have any factors that are perfect squares. Again, what are the perfect squares? 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, etc., etc. So that one is done. It's already simplified. All right, let's try another one in here. Let's try the next one is radical 15 divided by radical 2. Well, 2 doesn't go into 15 evenly, so I need a trick. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by radical 2. So this is once again radical 30 all over 2. And we just said that radical 30 doesn't simplify, so that's our final answer right there. Let's try this one in here, 47. What's 47 look like? Well, radical 6 divided by radical 3. Woo, this is good. Radical 3 does go into radical 6, so that's just radical 2. They're both numbers. 3 does go into 6, and that one's easy to simplify. Let's try 49 in here. 49 is what? 49 is radical 10a divided by radical 12a. All right. So in this case, the a's are going to cancel. And so I have 10 divided by 12. Well, I know 2 goes into both of those numbers evenly. That's radical 5 over radical 6. And now I still have to get rid of the radical 6. So now I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by radical 6. And that's radical 30 all over 6. And that's the final answer. Nothing can be simplified. Let's go take a look at these last couple here with these variables. So this one right here is in the 48. That's m square root of m cubed n divided by the square root of n. Well, right away, these n's cancel. And that's great. So what's left? Well, the square root of m cubed, but we're not done there because we should remember from a previous lesson that equals m times the square root of m. And let's try one more in here. Let's take a look at 50. 50 looks like what? Well, that's the square root of y to the 5th divided by the square root of xy. Well, right away I notice some y's cancel. This one y here cancels with this one right there, so that's the square root of y to the 4th divided by the square root of x. Well, the square root of x should be bothering us, but let's take a look at the numerator. Notice the square root of y to the 4th is just y squared all over radical x. Well, to finish this one off, again, what's bothering us here is the square root in the denominator. So again, we need our little trick. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by radical x. So what's left? Y squared radical x, because we're multiplying straight across, all divided by x. I'm so sorry. Please don't try canceling the x's here. One has a radical. The other one doesn't have a radical. We can't simplify that. Okay? And that's the answer there. Nothing else can be simplified, and we are done. All right, try the homework and try to knock out as many problems as you can, and check the answers in the back of the book.